tried and I failed them all. I left them all to die.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the worst things to ever happen to Princess Zelda. Look out for spoilers ahead.
Link! You must find me.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Sacrificed and Possessed: The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Zelda isn't in Twilight Princess that much, but even still, she has a rough go of things. Held captive in her castle for half the game, one of the only things she's able to do to help is save Midna. With the companion on death's door, Zelda sacrifices herself, giving her life force to Midna before vanishing. That would be bad enough to earn some pity given she's already lost control over everything else in her life, but then she's revived and possessed to fight Link as Ganondorf's puppet during the first phase of the final fight. That's just adding insult to injury. Pressure of the Princess: The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Zelda, I trust you with the task only a daughter of the royal family can fulfill.
Most versions of the princess fit into their regal role with little effort, though the same can't be said of her Breath of the Wild incarnation. Through flashbacks, we learn that, prior to Calamity Ganon's return, Zelda struggled with awakening her sealing power, genetically passed down through some members of the royal family.
That boy is a living reminder of her own failures. Well, at least that's how the princess sees him.
We see her feelings of inadequacy as she fails to live up to her potential, feelings only worsened by her strict father and the absence of her late mother.
And stop following me!
It's hard not to feel bad for her, or even relate to her as the scenes play out and head towards the negative conclusion we all knew was coming.
Please, just tell me. What is it? What's wrong with me?
Has her body stolen? The Legend of Zelda: Spirit Tracks. Over the years, Nintendo has found clever ways of placing Zelda in harm's way without having her get kidnapped. In Spirit Tracks, this version of the princess rules over New Hyrule, founded after the Great Flood that left the original kingdom at the bottom of the sea. Things seem to be going well until Chancellor Cole, one of her trusted advisors, stabs her in the back. He removes her spirit from her body, which he plans to use as a vessel for his lord and savior, the Demon King Malladus. Having your body stolen from you has got to suck, but the sting of betrayal from one of your allies makes it a bit harsher. Kidnapped and sent to the Dark World: The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Of course, Zelda has still been kidnapped in several entries. Usually when this happens, she's just stuck in a castle somewhere until Link can come to the rescue. But in A Link to the Past, she doesn't even get that luxury. Zelda is kidnapped and subsequently freed from her prison cell at the beginning of the game. However, she's later kidnapped again and sent to the Dark World, a twisted version of the Sacred Realm with little in terms of comfort. Yeah, we'd say that's a step down from where she's normally held. Plus, her father is killed during her initial capture, and even though he's revived in the end, we imagine that was pretty traumatic for the princess. Forced into hiding: The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Unlike many other versions of Zelda, the one in Ocarina of Time sees the danger coming a mile away. Sadly, that doesn't mean anyone listens to her. The young girl's prophetic dreams are dismissed by her father, who is soon betrayed and likely killed by Ganondorf. She's then forced to go into hiding, where she must disguise herself to survive and watch her home slip further and further into violent chaos. For 7 years! Players understandably feel bad for Link, essentially forced to give up his childhood, but if we had the choice of a 7-year-long nap and actually having to live through Ganondorf's rule while being endlessly hunted, we know which one we'd choose. Turned to Stone, twice. The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, and Phantom Hourglass. Another fun way Nintendo threatened Zelda's peace was by turning her to stone, which the studio did more than once. At the beginning of Minish Cap, the princess's excitement for the Picori Festival at Hyrule Castle is cut short when Vati attacks. Not finding what he's after, he turns her to stone in a fit of rage. It happens again, albeit to an entirely different iteration of the character, in the DS's Phantom Hourglass. Again, at the beginning, she's turned to stone, and surprisingly still kidnapped by the monster Bellum. In a similar vein, she was also turned into a painting in A Link Between Worlds. We're grateful Nintendo finds new ways to keep things fresh. Sucks to be her, though. Cursed with endless sleep. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. The backstory of the princess seen in Zelda 2 is surprisingly sad. Her father had refused to share knowledge of the Triforce with his power-hungry son. When the king passed, Zelda's brother confronted her and had a wizard place a sleeping curse on her when she wouldn't tell him what he wanted. Unfortunately, the spell also backfired, killing the wizard and leaving the brother alone in his grief and regret, and decreeing that all girls of the royal family be named after his sister. While the game doesn't specify how long she's been asleep, it's apparently been several generations, enough for there to be a new Princess Zelda in the original game. Plus, her brother being the cause makes it so much worse. Her true calling, The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Zelda's crush on Link during the opening moments of Skyward Sword is palpable in everything she does and says. And what happens when she finally plucks up the courage to confess her love? A tornado appears and sucks her down to the surface world. Classic. From there, she goes on a journey of awakening, realizing she's a reincarnated goddess, all while being hunted by monsters and giving up her own desires for the betterment of the world. It's admirable, to say the least, but her divinity ends up being an even bigger pain when she's used in a ritual to revive the Demon King demise. At least she gets a happy ending, but it's a hell of a journey to get there. Turned into a dragon, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. In any other series, a character turning into a dragon would be awesome. But here, it's downright tragic. After traveling back in time to right after the founding of Hyrule, meaning hundreds if not thousands of years ago, Zelda helps the heroes of the time defeat Ganondorf. However, she also knows that one day he'll return, powerful enough to break the Master Sword. To fix it and ultimately stop him, she'll need a lot of magic.
That act is forbidden, for a very good reason. It would mean throwing yourself away. Oh, Minoru!
Despite being warned that the process will make her lose her sense of self, Zelda eats her secret stone, transforms, and waits an ungodly amount of time for present-day Link to fix things. She played a similar lengthy waiting game in Skyward Sword, but at least her crystallization there meant she didn't have to live through everything. loses everything. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Tomorrow is my 17th birthday. So then I shall go and make my way up the mountain.
The most recent incarnation of the princess just might be the saddest. We've already talked about the awful pressure she was put under, but the moment when Calamity Ganon attacked only compounded those negative feelings about herself. That's on top of destroying an entire kingdom.
I may not be much use on the battlefield, but there must be something I can do to help.
In one instance, Zelda lost her home, her people, her father, her closest friends, and her sworn protector. Never before had any version of the character, at least in-game, suffered such losses and felt such sorrow. Of course, given all the previous scenes, she blamed herself for all of it, wishing desperately that she had been able to find her powers in time to stop it from happening. What do you think is the worst thing Zelda has had to go through? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great gaming videos every day.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.